Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name's Jason, and this week we're making buffalo chicken, bacon, and ranch chaffles. So let's get started. So this recipe is going to start with 2 large eggs, and then we've got some chicken that's just been warmed up with some Frank's Red Hot sauce and butter to make it the buffalo chicken. And then we've got some crispy bacon bits. And for the ranch part of this recipe, we're going to use the ranch flavored Quest protein chips. And of course we need some cheese. So this is 2/3 of a cup of shredded mozzarella and cheddar. So we've got our 2 eggs. We're gonna add the cheese in and start mixing that together. Now for a recipe like this where we're adding different ingredients that we don't normally have in a chaffle recipe that starts with 1 egg. That's why I'm adding the 2nd egg, because usually what can happen if you add other ingredients is that the mixture gets too dry and they don't cook properly. So you just have to keep that in mind when you're adding other ingredients to your chaffles. So the cheese and eggs all mixed up. So again, we're gonna add this buffalo chicken mix in here. I just took some leftover chicken and warmed it up in a pan with the Frank's Red Hot sauce and butter until the butter was melted and everything was incorporated. Of course, you could leave out the buffalo part of this recipe. You can just use regular chicken, white meat, dark meat, whatever your preference is, kind of thing. I just tend to like the spice that this adds. So we're adding the bacon into the mix. All we're really trying to do here is get each ingredient well incorporated so that it distributes evenly in the chaffles. Now this is going to wind up making 4 full-size chaffles, just so you know. And then that's about half a bag of the Quest protein chips that are the ranch flavor. I just crumbled them up by hand. No need to get too crazy about grinding them up or anything. This is just going to add a little bit of a flavor and texture to the chaffles. So that's pretty well all mixed together. Again, all you want to really do is make sure that nothing is clumped up in there. You want to make sure that each chaffle gets about the same amount of everything in your mixture. Okay, so the dash minis are all warmed up here. So we will start to add the mixture into the waffle irons. Making sure not to put too much in there. We don't want it to overflow. These chaffles aren't going to sort of rise the way a standard cheese and egg chaffle would be. They're fairly dense, not super crispy. So you don't have to worry too much about the mix leaking out the side, but again, we don't want to put too much in there. So you can see I'm not even putting it all the way to the edge, because what'll happen is when you close the waffle iron, it'll spread it out. So those 2 are done. 4 to 5 minutes later, this is what we've got. Nice and golden brown. Again, they're fairly dense, not super crispy. The smell in the house was really nice cooking these up, of course. So we'll get these out and get them onto a wire rack and let them cool off while we get the last 2 chaffles going here. Now, if any of you have any questions about the ranch protein chips that I'm adding to these, you know, I am aware that as far as keto goes, they aren't the best product out there. Quest has, you know, built a business on low carb snacks kind of thing. But, you know, I'll be the first to admit that the ingredients aren't, 100% great, but once in a while, I don't think it's a bad thing to treat yourself with something like this. And they do give a good texture and flavor to the chaffles. So there's the last of the mix. We'll close the waffle irons up. Then another 4 to 5 minutes later, our third and fourth chaffles are done. We'll get those out and get them resting on the wire rack so that we can give them a try. If you're enjoying this kind of content, I've got lots of chaffle recipes on the channel, so consider subscribing and hit that thumbs up button so you won't miss next week's video. So here's the finished chaffle. Smells really good, texture's good, lots of good melted cheese in there, and the flavor was really good on these. Highly recommend you give it a try. So till next week, keep on thriving, my friends.